Question: ds. Is x to the power of 4 greater than 1? Condition 1. X is greater than 1. Condition 2. X squared is greater than 1. Solution: let us solve this ds question using the variable approach. Relationship between functions and inequalities. Y equals a times x squared plus b times x plus c. A is greater than 0. When a is positive, the parabolic equation will result in a shape of u, a parabola opening upward. A is smaller than 0. When a is negative, the parabolic equation will result in a shape of n, a parabola opening downwards. The inclusive relationship between a question and the conditions. If the range of the question includes the range of the condition, then the condition becomes the answer because the range of the condition is sufficient within the range of the question. Let us follow the first step of the variable approach by modifying and rechecking the original condition and the question. We are required to verify whether x to the power of 4 is greater than 1. Remember that square is the most important fact in inequality questions, and the next most important fact is that question is the king. Let us modify the original inequality, then we get x to the power of 4 minus 1 is greater than 0, or whole of x squared minus 1 times whole of x squared plus 1 is greater than 0. Since x squared plus 1 is greater than 0, we can divide both sides of the inequality by x squared plus 1 without changing the direction of the inequality sign. Thus we have whole of x squared minus 1 times whole of x squared plus 1 over x squared plus 1 is greater than 0 over x squared plus 1, or x squared minus 1 is greater than 0. So we have to check whether x squared minus 1 is greater than 0. Now x squared minus 1 equals 0 is an equation of a parabola that opens upwards as a equals 1, which means a is greater than 0. Also, x squared minus 1 equals 0 can be written as whole of x minus 1 times whole of x plus 1 equals 0, and thus the parabola will intersect the x-axis at -1 and 1. Whole of x minus 1 times whole of x plus 1 is greater than 0 means that the factors x minus 1 and x plus 1 have the same sign. That is, x minus 1 is greater than 0 and x plus 1 is greater than 0, or x minus 1 is smaller than 0 and x plus 1 is smaller than 0. Which means x is greater than 1 and x is greater than -1, or x is smaller than 1 and x is smaller than -1. X is greater than 1 and x is greater than -1 means x is greater than 1. Also, x is smaller than 1 and x is smaller than -1 means x is smaller than -1. Therefore, the range of x becomes x is smaller than -1 or x is greater than 1 as shown in the figure below. Thus we are asked whether x lies in the range x is smaller than -1 or x is greater than 1. From the original condition, we have one variable, x. To match the number of variables with the number of equations, we need one equation. Since conditions 1 and 2 will provide one equation each, D would most likely be the answer. Recall 3 principles and choose D as the most likely answer. Let us take a look at each condition. Also, using the inclusive relationship between a question and the conditions mentioned above. Condition 1 tells us that x is greater than 1 because x is smaller than -1, or the range of the question includes x is greater than 1 given in the condition 1, it is sufficient. Condition 2 tells us that x squared is greater than 1, which can be written as x squared minus 1 is greater than 0. All of x minus 1 times all of x plus 1 is greater than 0, and we get x is smaller than -1, or x is greater than 1, as shown when modifying the question. Because x is smaller than -1, or the range of the question includes x is smaller than -1, or 1 is smaller than x, given in condition 2, it is sufficient. DS question: x is smaller than -1, or x is greater than 1. Condition 1. X is greater than 1. This range is included in the range of the question, so this condition is sufficient. Condition 2. X is smaller than -1, or x is greater than 1. This range is included in the range of the question, so this condition is sufficient. Each condition alone is sufficient. Also, according to tip 1, it is about 95% likely that D would be the answer when the value of condition 1 is equal to the value of condition 2. That is, condition 1 equals condition 2. Thus, D is the correct answer. Answer D.